All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Skeptalk Live, episode number 29. I'm Udo, your host, and with me are my co-hosts, Jason and Shayna, as always.
What up?
Goes it?
Shayna, how are you doing this evening?
I'm pretty good.
Looks like you got control over that camera finally.
Finally. The software's still being really buggy, but I'll figure it out.
Looks like it's working out, though. Twisty Top Hatter is in the chat. Good to see you, Twisty.
What up, Twisty?
Jason, how is your evening progressing?
I just finished a midterm and 2 quizzes in breakneck speed. I'm fucking fantastic.
Excellent.
I'm happy. I'll put it like that.
Kitten Circus has joined us in the chat.
What up, kid? What up, cat?
Just a bunch of us and our girlfriends hanging out.
Right?
Shayna, where's your girlfriend?
Where's that?
Well, I've got my roommates. Would be Jason's brother and my other roommate that are sitting
Don's your
on
girlfriend.
the TV, but
Excellent.
they're signed in as me, so we
Yeah.
won't have those two computers. Ashley might sign in on her phone.
You should.
Right.
Get shot on.
Exactly. All right.
Get
So
flush bikini.
we've got a pretty
Pinky.
cool show for today. We revealed yesterday the topic on Tuesday of what today's topic is going to be. So it's Black-Eyed Children. I did a bunch of research on that, and a couple of our chatters said that they're going to be extra critical about tonight because they know a lot about it. So, but news for the channel: we broke a new record today, or I guess got an achievement today. We hit 250 hours streamed, which is a Twitch achievement. So that's pretty cool. And 56 of those hours are episodes of Skeptalk Live. So
Hot damn.
yeah, there's a lot of content out there. If you're just tuning in for the first time and you decide that this isn't something that isn't terrible, or yeah, wait, that's too many negatives. If you decide that this is something that isn't terrible, you can check us out on YouTube. The bot will tell you about it here in a minute. And I'm decided I'm going to do this at the beginning of the episode instead of the end. If you want to help the show out because you're a fan, click that. And that'll help you send this out to everybody on Twitter saying that you're watching Skeptalk Live, and then give them a link to our channel. So, dark and twisty, just like you like it. Excellent. All right. So, other than that, Distended Coma is the new bit leader, in case anybody cared about that. So,
Oh shit.
yeah.
I see that.
Distended Coma went the extra mile. All right. So, we've got 11 people watching now. That's enough for us to be able to move directly into the news. Unless you guys had anything else.
No. I'm
All right.
ready to do it.
All
Let's
right.
see what happened.
So
What I missed.
once again, we are a fair use talk show. Everything that you see here is under the creative or it's a fair use doctrine. We are using this content here to provide commentary, criticism, parody, news reporting, and possibly even scholarship. So our first story is a truck full of garbage and a train also full of garbage.
I heard the sad thing about this, though.
Right.
Yeah, there is something sad about it.
There is. Unfortunately,
My
all of the
twist on it.
Republicans made it through the crash. So.
Yep.
That's fucked up. Man.
Right, I know.
That's exactly kind of where my brain went.
A train carrying congressional Republicans crashed into a trash truck. One of the truck passengers, unfortunately, has passed away. Our hearts and minds from this talk show go out to the families of the people in the truck. But the train was transporting House and Senate Republicans to in West Virginia, and it collided with a trash truck on the railroad tracks Wednesday. Lawmakers and congressional aides on the train have reported minor injuries, and Senator Jeff Flake, one of the 3 passengers aboard the... Wait. What the hell? Oh!
What?
Oh, no,
Stop.
Well, okay, hold on. This article read differently at the beginning. It says Senator Jeff... Oh, okay. And Senator Jeff Flake said one of the 3 passengers aboard the garbage truck died on the scene. I just read that as Senator Jeff Flake and one of the passengers died. I was all like,
no.
Like my original joke is unfortunate. But no. Right, so doctors and security officers aboard the train attended to the scene. Lawmakers with medical training have also been assisting on the ground. So, terrible tragedy. Garbage truck driver was killed, and the Republicans eventually made it to their destination. So, yeah. My original joke was really just to try to say that the Republican House was garbage, right? But...
Yeah. I thought it was particularly ironic that a train wreck into a garbage truck.
Right.
The Republican Congress. That's hilarious.
So an update to Tuesday's story. To hear Elon Musk tell it, the Tesla SpaceX CEO's foray into flamethrowers was no flame out. He sold all 20,000 of the $500 units in 5 days.
Yep. Fucking awesome.
20,000 flamethrowers. Woo!
I know 2 people who bought them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to when they get them, and I've already asked one of them if we can debut it on the show.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thursday.
We all have to be in the same location. I want to be there.
Yeah, we'll go out. We'll
Right.
go out on a weekend.
Stupidity.
Yeah, we'll go out on a weekend. We'll play with the flamethrower and videotape it, and then play it on the show.
Yes.
We should hunt Bigfoot
I'm so
with the
excited
for
flamethrower. It is the ultimate weapon to kill a Bigfoot.
I think we figured it out
Yeah.
Right.
on a future episode.
All right. In other Elon Musk news, noted futurist Elon Musk has denied rumors that he's secretly working to bring about an end of days via a zombie apocalypse.
Where did that come from?
He's been accused of hoping to have profit from such a scenario, as seen in such television series as The Walking Dead and Z Nation. As his firm, The Boring Company, is currently taking pre-orders for the first commercial available flamethrower. Originally born in South Africa, Elon Musk is considered one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs. And on Twitter, he said, let me find it down here. The rumor that I'm secretly creating a zombie apocalypse to generate demand for flamethrowers is completely.
That's fucking amazing.
He also said you'd need millions of zombies for a so-called apocalypse anyway. Where would I even get a factory big enough to make some?
Nice. Probably the planet you're trying to fucking land on.
Right.
Space zombies.
Mars space zombies shipped back to Earth in order to raise flamethrower profits.
Right. It's fucking terrifying. That also creates profits for SpaceX.
Right. Exactly, because then
2
people
in
want to
1.
leave. Right.
Fucking brilliant.
Ignoring the
secret
Boring
space.
Company's flamethrower offerings, consumers the new flamethrower offering consumers an effective means of cutting down the zombie hordes quickly and efficiently. Electric cars such as the Tesla would be viable as a means of transportation far longer than traditional auto.
Okay.
So multiple reasons why he would create a terrible zombie apocalypse in order to profit from it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it seems legit. Did Alex Jones cover it? If Alex Jones covered it, it's gotta be real.
Not as far as I know.
Did you hear what he said about the garbage truck?
No.
Dude, so Alex Jones started pushing this conspiracy theory that it was a liberal coup.
Oh,
and they
my
pushed
God.
the fucking garbage truck out to stop the train so they could assassinate the Republicans.
That's hysterical.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even more insensitive than my joke.
I know, right? The unfortunate thing is there's probably like 500,000 people who believe him.
Right, of course, right. Alex Jones farts and everyone says liberal conspiracy.
Right.
All right. In space news, NASA confirmed an incredible discovery on Tuesday. An amateur radio astronomer on the hunt for a classified government satellite stumbled upon signals from a spacecraft that had been lost 12 years earlier.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I heard they also lost the ability to communicate with it and control it.
Right. Raising hope that NASA can resurrect a mission that changed our understanding of the invisible ocean around Earth. Image was a machine designed to see the invisible, as one of the mission's lead scientists put it. It was a squat and boxy thing, like many satellites, with a long technical name. Imager for Magnetopause to Aurora Global Exploration. That obscured its plain and noble purpose to map the roiling sphere of electric gas around the Earth.
Wow.
Right. The sphere shields our planet from the sun's harsh winds and letting through its light. Like an ocean, the plasma ripples and flows within a solar wind, but also like an ocean, it's prone to storms. So that's how they lost the satellite, but a amateur was able to discover the signal. So just some guy with a radio imager.
I feel like that happens
Really
way too often.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and it's like, so I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson at this lecture that he gave about a year ago. And one of the things that he brought up was, because this stuff happens all the time. And he's like, it seems like this happens all the time, but he's like, but NASA does find shit out like way more often. And also space is huge. We're not going to be able to see everything.
Right.
Still, you lost your own fucking satellite.
Right, exactly. Scott Tiley is a 47-year-old electrical engineer who lives on the west coast of Canada. His hobby is radio astronomy. In a sense, it's also his cause. Space is not owned by anybody, Tiley told the Washington Post. Anybody should be able to look up and know those little dots moving around the sky are not bombs.
Holy shit.
Secret military satellites and classic. Right, exactly. So some tin hat guy, right?
Yeah.
Secret military satellites and classified orbits bother him, so he has banded together with a small group of fellow amateurs across the world to track down every satellite whose operators don't want it to be seen.
Amazing.
So the signal that he found matched Image, but Image was supposed to be dead. Tiley had to Google the old satellite to find out what it was, as it had been forgotten about on Earth. Eventually, he came across a decade-old NASA report on the mission failure. Once I read through the failure report and all the geeky language the engineers use, I immediately understood what happened. Then he rushed to contact NASA himself. That old news release announcing the death of Image had not actually been the end of its story on Earth. A week later, NASA quietly convened on a board of experts to pore over the satellite's entire data set and figure out what went wrong. They worked for months. When their final report was released, the board still figured Image had tripped over a power breaker and essentially bricked itself like a bad iPhone.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So there are hopes that they can possibly reconnect with it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Send it to the sun.
Correct.
Get rid of this shit.
Right. All right. So in fucked up news, a pensioner has been banned from every farm in Britain after he allegedly pushed his fist into a cow's rectum and then performed a sex act.
Okay. Hey, he didn't fuck a horse.
Right, exactly. It was a cow.
It was a cow. He just fucked a cow.
Right. John Curnow, 80, was found guilty of 2 counts of outraging public indecency. Or outraging public decency after he molested several cows on at least 2 occasions.
Jesus.
Another one of these stories?
Right?
God damn
Why
it.
are they arresting these people the first time?
Right, exactly. Hospital parking
damn it.
charges on charges of stealth tax. Wait, hold on. That was an ad there. The court heard last summer that he was spotted talking to a herd of 150 cows and masturbating in fields belonging to Park Lodge Farm in Uxbridge, West London, several times.
He's so lucky he didn't do that in America.
Right, that's how you get shot.
Yeah, he's fucking dead.
They just dig a hole. They wouldn't report anything.
Exactly.
Farmer's wife, Susan Howie, said Uxbridge Magistrates Court that she caught Curnow twice with his pants and trousers around his ankles and courting her cattle, which she describes as part of her family. The man, who uses a walking stick, was also spotted by two sisters from their home nearby, whom reported seeing him insert his left arm up to his shoulder into a cow back end, and then he allegedly performed a solo sex act.
Ugh. Okay. That lady caught him twice doing that shit.
Right. And then he was caught again.
First time, report him. Second time, fucking shoot him.
Right. This is in West London. You can't have guns, man.
Oh, worst fucking country.
During his arrest. Okay, go ahead.
He's raping your cattle.
Right, of course.
It's disgusting.
During his arrest, the pensioner told the police, "I'm not a violent person. I have a weakness with animals."
What?
Yep. Finsbury Park, the cows are left unattended in the field, especially when they leave them there day and night. I went out in my white pickup truck, and when the gentleman was with the cow, he had his left hand interfering with the cow and his right hand on part of his lower body. His shirt was covering it.
That's not a weakness. A weakness is like sometimes I see chocolate in the grocery store and I buy it.
Right.
You, sir, are a fucking rapist.
Cow
and
rapist.
Your chosen rapist is a fucking animal. You're a piece of shit, and I hope you die.
Right, exactly.
Jesus.
He grabbed his trousers and boxers and he ran for the stile while he was actually fell over the stile because his trousers fell down when he was trying to get over it. I was disgusted. We gave nobody permission to touch or interfere with our cows. It might seem funny to you, but they are family, not just cows. Betsy, no.
I mean, it's funny. It's also horrifying and really fucked up.
Right, exactly. Judge Akers said, "You have been found guilty of both offenses and you will need to attend court later date for the sentence. There will be a condition of bail that is not to attend Park Lodge Farm Estate, including the mill and church garden or any other farm with animals." After the conviction was announced, the farmer Ian Howie, husband of Susan, who caught Curnow pleasuring himself with the cows, said he was pleased with the result. Zod says a family that they kill, right? Delicious family.
Delicious family.
All right. How do you guys feel about the word literally?
I literally like it.
I say it
Yeah,
probably
you're
when
totally-
it's not appropriate, but I think that's kind of the point of it. It kind of bothers people when somebody say literally and they're not literally meaning literally.
Just people that aren't.
But I think for just the sake of trying to make meaning, the word can change a little bit, and that's okay.
Right. A New York bar has banned customers who use the word literally.
I want to go in there literally and say literally.
That's kind of fair.
The New York bar is adding another term to its classic no shoes, no shirt, no service list, using the word literally. Continental, a bar in the East Village, is famous for selling 5 shots for $10, has banned the word from his establishment.
It sounds like that place is Russia or,
Right.
I don't know, North Korea. Like, all these fucking rules. I'm coming here to get drunk with your fucking bullshit, cheap-ass well vodka for 2 shots for a fucking $1.
Right?
Or a shot for $2. Like, don't... Like, you can't put rules on that. Get the fuck out of here.
Welcome to the stream, Uncivil. So
What up?
the rules
Yep.
state that if someone uses the word literally, they are given 5 minutes to finish their drink, then will be forced to leave. If someone begins a sentence with the word "I literally," that patron must leave immediately.
I hope that happens all the fucking time.
The bar says its reason for banning the word literally is it's the most overused, annoying word in the English language. Their goal is to help stop Kardashianism by prohibiting the use of the word.
Oh, so now they're profiling.
Yep. The bar is filed for bankruptcy and is expected to close in June of 2018.
Fucking racists.
So it's on its way out anyway.
About 5 minutes to finish the drink. I just read the thing.
Right, exactly. The early morning show when we were talking about this, people were saying they should go run up a tab and then be all like, "I'm literally not going to pay you." Whoop 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 whoop.
Peace, motherfucker.
I disagree that it's the most overused, annoying word in the English language. I disagree completely. I guess maybe in the English language, there's a lot more annoying words that people use.
Yeah, there's a lot worse words, that's for sure.
Right. All right. They can't take our freedom. I spent a lot of time on this picture. Not a lot, but enough.
Yeah. But they can take our ass?
Exactly. The alternate intro for this story, because I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to use, was William Wallace. So.
Nice.
Right. An incident police described as one for the books. A lone donkey was found leading a herd of goats and sheep through residential streets of West Covina after escaping from a property in neighboring city on Thursday.
That's awesome. What's with all these animals doing these, like, fucking multi-animal herds?
Right, exactly. Crazy escapes. What is that?
Yeah.
We were talking about it the other day. When
Fuck, Homeward Bound,
Homeward
dude.
Bound,
Homeward
yeah.
Bound!
Right, exactly.
My childhood's alive!
Officers responded to the area of Francisco and Valinda around 12:30 a.m. after receiving a call that a group of animals roaming the neighborhood, according to a post on West Covina Police Department's Facebook page. And that's exactly what they found when they arrived on location. A lone donkey leading several goats and sheep through residential streets. At first, the animals failed to comply with police orders as they evaded capture, prompting officers to call the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department for assistance.
Amazing.
Eventually, the authorities managed to corral the group. Police later discovered the donkey, goats, and sheep slipped through an unsecured gate from a property nearby in Valinda. They contacted the owner, who responded and helped herd the animals back to his home. No injuries were reported.
Well, at least when the cops found them, they didn't fear for their lives and execute them all.
Right, exactly. Well, it's because they weren't black. Duh.
Yeah, or dogs.
Right, exactly. But no, my favorite part of this entire story is that the article and the post that they have refers specifically to the animals failing to comply and then evading capture. So that's the police's actual language for this situation.
God damn it.
All right. Speaking of police and animals, Middletown. When Middletown Police Chief and two new city council were having lunch Wednesday on the 4th floor of the city building, they noticed through a window that it appeared that two subjects were climbing a fire escape and then entering a window on the upper floors of a Manchester Inn. Or of the former Manchester Inn. So Chief Rodney Mutterspaw, who was meeting with a council member, Joel Mulligan, and Amy Vittery, called police dispatch to report the suspicious activity. The two suspects that were illegally attempting to enter the Manchester Inn, as the two suspects were attempting to enter it, the police department's canine team happened to be training with 8 agencies of the Southwest Regional Canine Training Team at the training center near Middletown Regional Airport. Bad timing, Mutterspaw said. Real bad. Middletown's canine officers Bear, Chase, and Coda, along with dogs from other police agencies, entered the building. Morgan said there were 11 dogs released into the building to find these two guys. Could you imagine being two guys who just broke into a place and then the place literally just becomes filled with police dogs?
That'd be fucking terrifying.
Right? That'd
Yeah.
be pants shittingly scary. Dogs were barking everywhere, Morgan said. While Morgan and Chase were on the second floor, Chase, a 4-year-old German Shepherd, indicated he smelled human meat. When they found the subjects hiding in a hotel room, Chase showed force, and the subjects were immediately surrendered. There's no better training than real-life scenarios, Nicholas Terrace said. Morgan said. Nicholas Tecaris, 18, and a juvenile, his name is hidden because of his age, were charged with criminal trespass. But yeah, they're really bad timing. Go break into a place right next to where the canine units are training.
Dude, right? Holy shit.
It's really not a good idea. I mean,
lesson learned.
Exactly. I don't think you could really pick a better time or worse time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like there's a couple of ideas, but yeah. All right, Turkar Gerbs. This one is actually important to us because our jobs right now are terribly in danger.
Oh shit.
Meet Erica, Japan's next robot news anchor.
Well, that was coming for a long time.
Right.
News anchors have become a little more robotic. So now they need to be robots.
Exactly.
Paving the way for the true minority.
Yeah, Erica, the android, will soon become a TV news anchor in Japan. Japan's latest news anchor would make her parents proud if she had any. Erica, a lifelike android designed to look like a 23-year-old woman, may soon become a TV news anchor in Japan, the Wall Street Journal reported. According to Hiroshi Ishiguro, director of the Intelligent Robotics Laboratory at Osaka University, and Erica's creator, the android will replace a human news anchor on the airwaves as soon as April.
Oh shit.
Right. Erica, the android, may be well suited for this desk job. For starters, she can capably recite scripted writing and sit in a chair, making her about as qualified for television as most humans. What may set Erica apart from other artificial intelligence, however, is her charisma. Ishiguro has said Erica is capable of holding a conversation with humans thanks to a combination of speech generation algorithms, facial recognition technology, and infrared sensors that allow her to track faces across the room. So
creepy.
Yeah, definitely.
She kind of got some black guys there.
Exactly. Everybody said that she looks like a sex doll. Straight up. Everybody.
Yes, that's where their brains are going, I think.
I don't think it does.
I don't look at a female robot and go, it's a sex doll. Maybe some men do.
Well, a lot of the people getting ready for today's episode, they're like, that's a sex doll.
That's a sex doll. They got it there for
you
the fucking
weirdos. She's got dead eyes, and I don't know why your brain went there, but I don't know.
Well, so do sex dolls, I'd assume. I don't think they have live eyes.
Right.
It'd be fucking terrifying.
The rest of it looks just kind of robot-y, and then the just eyes that look real. You're like, there's someone in that! You piece of shit, get out of there.
Right.
Let me have sex with a robot and not a person.
Oh, I got some breaking news, everybody.
What's that?
Looks like Stan Lee just got rushed to the hospital.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Yeah, posted in chat.
Damn, son.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Andrew Day, thank you very much for the support again. Badass.
Nice.
Damn, son. All right.
I know this is kind of a clickbaity.
Checking.
Clickbaity.
Oh yeah, she didn't mean the timing was accidental. She was doing
TMZ
that right
reported
before.
it. I mean, let me give you a better one.
Comic Book Resources has reported it. Spokesperson for Stan Lee commented on the comic legend's condition, saying that he is doing well and feeling good. He's staying there for a few days for some checkups as a safety precaution.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
He was rushed after experiencing shortness of breath and an irregular heartbeat.
Oh.
Old people problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He is kind of old.
True.
All right, moving on. Some NASA news again. We might sometimes talk about eating crap on a night in, but that's nothing compared to the more literal crap future scientists and astronauts could well find themselves chowing down on.
Ugh.
Thanks to researchers at Penn State University, who have been using a research grant from NASA to develop technology for breaking down solid and liquid waste and transforming it into a food that's hygienic and safe for humans.
Yeah, I read that.
Nope.
All right. So if
I
it
don't
meant
know.
you could if it meant that you could like go to Mars, right? Because you've been randomly chosen to be an astronaut, would you eat your poop? It's been turned into a food through science and magic.
Well,
No?
Fucking no.
No.
Don't give a fuck.
All right.
no.
Would
I
you
don't think
eat
I would.
a different astronaut's poop?
No.
No.
I'm not eating poop. I don't give a shit.
I feel like there's other options. These things don't have to be mutually together. Like, you don't, you know.
plants do the same thing. That's not an argument for a human. Yes, why don't you be a lowly, shitty little piece of crap plant? Come
Right.
on. Vegans like
Life
them.
does come from somewhere.
The resulting foodstuff is both high in protein and fat,
Right?
and apparently not dissimilar to a savory British sandwich spread, Marmite.
Yeah, that makes sense, because Marmite is fucking disgusting. Duh, could have told you that. Never even had to hear about this experiment. Could have been like, it probably resembles shit. Fuck.
Twisty says she wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
Chada, welcome. Chada says that you'd have to give a shit to eat it. This is not the typical research
Sure.
direction for my laboratory, but among other things we do with unusual microorganisms, Christopher House, professor of geosciences at Penn State, told Digital Trends. But yeah, proof of concept for the system the Penn State researchers built involves sending human waste through a fixed film plugged through an anaerobic reactor, which converts the organic matter into methane and carbon dioxide. The reactor then uses a plastic media with a high surface to area volume ratio and is typically used in aquariums and ponds to treat ammonium from fish waste. In our reactor, this plastic media provided the surface for the bacteria to attach to the waste material. So essentially, you're not actually eating human poop. Your poop is then ate by microorganisms, and then you eat microorganism poop. So it's double poop.
Yeah, it's fucking. I don't mind eating a microorganisms.
Right.
I think that's probably
It's just
okay.
so
I
tiny.
mean,
Yeah.
that is almost, you know.
Flight
A
is
lot of
saying
the-
so beer.
I mean, I eat plant poop all the time, like
Right.
corn and apples. I fucking love those things. Oh, that's not poop though. That's their like babies. I like to eat plant babies.
Genitals.
Just gonna say it.
Right.
I won't eat poop. I don't give a shit.
All right.
Let the world burn.
A Utah school says it won't change its controversial Phoenix mascot because it was picked by the students, but it actually was a third choice after fascists. So
What?
a rendering of the new Farmington High School schedule, or this is the rendering of the new school that's going to be open, right? If it were up to Farmington High School's future students, the new school mascot would be the fascists or the farts. Those two write-in options generated the most votes from students in a Davis School District survey, according to the records obtained by the Salt Lake Tribune. Seeing that neither of those options as feasible, the district decided to go with the third choice, which was the Phoenix. But they could have been
Wait a
the
minute.
farts, dude.
This is an actual picture of their.
Yeah,
Or
this
is
is
this
this is a rendering of the school that's going to be opened.
So that F is gonna change to a P. Like I guess no, because it's the name of the town.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they could have been the Farmington High School farts.
So really, that whole like democratic process of choosing the name was just not. That was just a facade for what was really going to happen.
Well, okay, so I guess the third name that they actually chose was the Phoenix, right? But they had a write-in option, and so a ton of people wrote the Farmington High School farts, and then a different ton of people wrote in the Farmington High School fascists. And so the school board has decided to go with the third option, which was the Phoenixes.
Right.
Good choice.
Right. But the name that has been chosen continues to stir its own criticism. Farmington Mayor Jim Talbot has joined the group of concerned parents and community members who say that the proposed symbol for the city's new high school isn't going to work either. This mascot comes under crude jokes both locally and on a national scene, claiming that the plural pronunciation sounds like male anatomy. So, so it's the farmhouse or Farmington High School Phoenixes, which kind of sounds like penises. That's just being picky,
Right?
right?
Did these guys also start a cryptocurrency for vegans?
Maybe.
It sounds like these guys did.
All right. Yes, there are people really using anti-diarrhea medicine to get high.
God damn it.
I can't.
Tide Pods aren't even done yet.
Right, exactly. Opioid addicts. What? Go ahead.
No, I don't understand the logic here. Explain.
All right. Opioid addicts looking for a cheap high are turning to the over-the-counter anti-diarrhea medication, prompting a federal agency to ask manufacturers to change the way the drug is packaged and curb abuse. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, loperamide, is also known by its brand name Imodium AD, and is being amused by some opioid addicts to either self-treat withdrawal symptoms or to get and maintain a high. The drug is inexpensive, costing about $10 for 400 capsules, and people are using between 50 and 300 capsules a day to induce a euphoric high that is akin to heroin, morphine, or oxycodone.
For fuck's sakes, just buy heroin.
But you can't get that much for
true,
$10.
True.
I don't know if I believe that, or if that's just what everybody thinks. I'm wondering. I don't know. That that doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense.
Does it make them shit their minds out?
It's an anti-diarrhea.
Chad says that it makes sense because Vicodin constipates the fuck out of you.
Yeah, but that's a side effect.
Right.
I don't think they're.
So
I'm not sure it takes that class of drugs. It takes an opiate to stop you from having diarrhea. Maybe I'm wrong, but
in these high doses, loperamide has been reported to cause serious heart problems and even death. Majority of reported cases where heart problems developed was due to intentional abuse. But yeah, so the FDA is even talking about it. So yes, people are getting high on it.
yep, it's an opioid receptor agonist. It
Yep.
does indeed. Wow, peripheral opioid. So
You
that's
like
going to affect your body more than your brain.
you like the double entendre there with no shit? Anti-diarrhea medication taken in 300 fucking pills.
That's so fucking insane.
Right? Exactly.
I wonder. That's super weird. Well, the little bit I'm learning about the chemical interactions with the brain is why I'm like, this is so strange to me.
Right. What all you gotta do is, if you can get a little high, someone will take it. Have you guys ever been robo tripping?
Well, I mean, all it takes is
Oh.
poisoning yourself a little bit to get high.
Yep.
So you could, by that effect, take pretty much anything, enough of anything, and feel high.
I was young once. I definitely robo-tripped. That shit was
I don't know what that
insane.
means.
It's when you drink like half a bottle of Robitussin.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Definitely
idiots.
You get real high and then you throw up.
Yeah, sounds glorious.
God.
I have to say, I did anything remotely like that.
The throwing up isn't that bad because you're high as fuck. So you're just all, whoa, what happened? Still really high. All right. Round 3. Mystery toilet flusher turns out to be something pretty scary. The toilet had been flushing itself randomly for days when they opened it up and found a surprise waiting for them.
Another one.
Another snake.
What? Same people?
No, just another group of people.
Okay.
Is this in Seattle too, or somewhere else?
This is actually in Australia.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Right. The curious case of an
It's not even
Australian.
newsworthy.
Right. The curious case of an Australian home randomly flushing its toilet had a surprising conclusion. Residents of a house in Doonan, Queensland, were stunned to discover a brown tree snake resting on the top of the toilet's electronic flush mechanism inside of the wall. And yeah,
Crazy.
to get it out. Here's how that had to go down.
Okay, so here we are. We're in a home in Doonan. We've got ourselves a brown tree snake in behind where the toilet flush is. So basically what happened, they've been hearing the toilet flushing continuously. So anyway, they opened it up and the snake has been sitting on the flush mechanism. So anyway, we're going to see if I can try and get him out. Now, hopefully...
You just go reach your fucking hand in there? Okay.
Straight out.
I thought so too. I was like, is that thing dangerous? Everything's dangerous.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like, you're retarded.
Wait, I thought Australia wasn't real.
So that's alright.
Ah, he's gonna die.
Yep.
He's been bit. It's over.
It's over.
At least we got getting him coming out.
Get
now,
dark.
that's the main thing. No, okay, going back in there.
That'd be the worst way to go.
Right.
Bitten by a poisonous snake, die, fall into a toilet.
Just land on the flushing mechanism. It's all flush,
It's
flush,
like, no.
flush.
It's finally working because the snake is biting your neck.
Now he is going to come flying out of here in a second. That's it.
Isn't it grabbing them by the tail like the worst thing?
No, I think that's what you're supposed to do to piss him off.
Right, exactly. That's how you rile them up real good.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
get him all bitey, and then you fucking try to hug him.
Here's a title for some of our PUBG player fans. China number 1. So it looks like China just installed a railgun on a warship, beating the U.S. Navy to the punch.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Railguns are another way the PLAN uses or hopes to get an edge in the 21st century naval warfare. The Type 055A is the name of the vessel. This fan-made computer-generated image of the Type... Wait, no. I didn't have that one with me. Wrong. Until you used a different picture. Right. Pictures are surfacing online, appearing to show a new weapon developed by China. And the nation may have just installed a full-scale railgun on a warship, something even the United States has been unable to do. It has high launch speed and range, affordability, and high firing volume. And Chinese railguns on the Type 055A destroyer would likely have similar characteristics to U.S. ones.
Crazy.
Flight asks if it actually works. There's just leaked images. I don't think that they have any firing data. For those of you who don't know what a railgun is, that is a weapon that uses high-powered magnets to propel metal ballistics at ridiculously high speeds, reaching up to things like Mach 7.
Yeah, I don't think this is a cool story.
I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of
so
neat, right?
dope, dude. How can you not be excited for this?
I'm not a big fan of war.
Yeah, you're apparently also not a big fan of Quake.
Of what?
Quake. It's a video game. You had a little personal railgun, and you fired a fucking.
Yeah, I
It's
like
amazing.
guns in the video games and for playing, not for a potential warship that
Oh.
might be an enemy. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, cool. That's not my reaction.
Oh, so you want the entire human race to be held back because you don't feel comfortable.
That's not what I said.
China did this for humans.
Oh yeah, not for China #1.
Yeah. They don't do anything for themselves.
Right. The
They're
turret spotted indicates the presence of a railgun. It's large for one, with a barrel that measures 26 to 33 feet in length and 12 to 20 inches in diameter. That's 2 to 3 times the cannon caliber of conventional tube artillery barrels, which generally have a diameter to caliber ratio of 1.25 to 1. Alternatively, a 350 to 400 millimeter naval mortar could explain the barrel diameter and length, but would be a large mortar and hilariously unnecessary. So it's either a railgun or they just went bonkers on their normal guns. Yeah. So the barrel's size likely accommodates magnetic rails used to propel shells at hypersonic speeds.
Finally, a weapon that can fight the lizard people.
Right. Exactly. That's like the one ship that could possibly take down an alien spacecraft.
Right? It's fucking badass.
All right. So I've got some interactive news today. I prepared a couple of news stories here, and then I hid a detail from these news stories that drastically changed the news if you don't know what that detail is. So 2 human piles of garbage were arrested for forcing children to eat something really terrible. Amanda Wright, 29, and Bezline Joseph, 25, were arrested this week in Maryland by Maryland State Police. The list of charges against them include child abuse, assault, reckless endangerment, neglect of a minor, stalking, and use of a dangerous weapon with intent to injure, false imprisonment, and causing ingestion of a blank.
I know what it is.
Do you? Do you see this story?
Yeah,
earlier?
I saw the fucking picture, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, natural selection.
It's
They're
hard.
just like single-handedly trying to just wipe out the genes of their entire family.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It's hard to
Just let
imagine
them
this
all
type
die.
of abuse. Is certainly harder to imagine the motive behind it, said Greg Shipley with Maryland State Police. The children involved were 8, 9, and 10. Investigators believe that these 3 victims were being confined in this home and were enduring physical beatings with a variety of implements. So, terrible story, right? Bad stuff. Oh, wait, there's a little bit more. I'm going to skip the parts about the abuse. Investigators say that the children were locked in a closet and basement, and they were fed a diet of bread, water, and oatmeal in addition to one other terrible item. So, these human dumpster fires are in jail for forcing 3 children to eat something terrible. Was it Tide Pods for YouTube views, dog poop, human meat, or lemon bars that are actually just pig fat? So I'm going to have Shayna take a guess first. And chat, put your answer in the feed.
My first thought was Tide Pods, but I feel like that might be too obvious in the way. Maybe the lemon bars that are actually just pig fat. I don't know.
Nope, it's Tide Pods.
It is.
Yep.
Standards
And
here.
that was what I just thought that'd be too obvious. It is actually the Tide Pods.
Fucking pieces.
It's
of shit.
totally not. This one is they were eating dog poop.
Oh,
Oh
you missed the
my
Tide Pod
God.
one.
Apparently there was a different one. This one's that means that there's an extra set of human dumpster fires out there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Right. This one was about they were force feeding their kids dog poop. They're the worst people ever. I've never
That's
What
so
the
fucked
hell?
up.
Yeah. Just fucking terrible, and I hope they all die. But anyway, not the kids. I hope
Well,
that
I'm finding the Tide
the
Pod.
bad people, right?
Oh no, I
Whoa,
lost
what's
it.
happening to the screen? Oh, I see. Digital.
Something go crazy there.
Yeah, in Discord. There we go. It didn't
Well, I
happen.
found the YouTube video, but I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, send it to me after the show. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Here's another interactive story. White bottom expose lands mislabeling charge. A Bangkok woman who dropped her jeans to reveal her white bottom while promoting a product in a video online has been charged by the Consumer Protection Police with mislabeling the product she promotes. Nikathur Nusapiat, Nusatipat, here we go, said she wasn't being provocative, but that she's just a single mother trying to support her young daughter and mother. There's more of it, more words. Okay, Nithakarn Nuthasipat of Nonthaburi province was summoned to the Consumer Protection Police Division office in Laxi District, Bangkok, for questioning. She was called to answer for her actions yesterday after 2 lawyers asked police to take action after noticing she exposed her bottom while promoting this product on a Facebook page. The video is also on YouTube. The Chief Consumer Protection Subdivision Region 4 said that police initially charged her with mislabeling. Whoop. Yep, there we go. Because the product had different details that could be misleading, and that she would be allowed bail because she did not intend to flee. So, from this story, what product do you think this woman was promoting? Was it designer rectal thermometers, DIY anal piercings, butt whitening cream, or real fur tail butt plugs?
Real fur animal tail butt plugs.
Yeah, I'm
All
going
right.
with that one too. Just because that's what I want it to be.
We'll give the chat just a second to answer a little bit too. But
I want it to be that too.
you guys have seen those
Also,
before,
I think
right?
I've actually heard of that being a thing.
Yeah, his friend does that.
I've met people who have those.
Although it could be an anal piercing, because if she was showing her white butt,
Right.
she didn't have.
So the real answer is it is butt whitening cream. Are you guys aware that butt whitening cream exists?
Yeah.
I think maybe I'd
Like,
heard about
It was butt
that.
whitening cream?
Yeah, dude. What?
Awesome.
Why would you want a butt whitener?
Yo, strippers love that shit. Not even joking.
Really?
It's a fucking stripper porn product. Oh yeah, dude.
Wow.
Because they have to fucking show their like butt all the time, and you don't want your fucking butt to look all brown.
Right, I knew about butt whitening or like getting anal bleaching done and stuff, but
Yeah.
That's probably.
if it's a cream, it should be spread over a large area, right? Right, like
I don't know.
all I was imagining is all like I want my large amount of my ass
Your whole
turned white.
butt white.
Right. I was just thinking that's a little bit
freaking
much,
weird.
right?
Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
All right. And now for today's weather, we go to John. John?
It was hot. Now we have John. Now this is a tropical storm, and you say, Dan, why are you showing me this? Because John's going to move north. The moisture from John left over, the spin, the storm itself will turn into a depression. Nothing really to worry about as far as wind goes, but watch where the precipitation will go. Some of it will head up towards the west.
Oops, shit. God damn it, I can't control anything here either. Anyway, yeah.
Please tell me this was actually on the news.
It totally was.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
I wish this was our weather, people. Do you know how happy that would make me?
Right, exactly. All right, so we're going to move on to stories that aren't so bleh, right? I'm calling this one because you can say hello to an orca and it might say hello back, or at least it will try to. International team of researchers working with 2 orcas at an aquarium in France have found that the whales were able to replicate the sounds of human speech, including words like hello, bye-bye, and a series of sounds like ah-ah. So,
Wasn't there a movie about that? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't really watch many whale movies. Why is Twisty Top Hatter crying? What is making you sad?
Because she loves whales.
she loves whales. Yeah,
Well-
fucking Free Willy. You never watched
Right,
that?
but that's not about a whale talking.
Yeah, but he interacted with the whale that like made sounds to the kid, and the kid interacted with it. So more or less, yeah. We just weren't doing a study. It wasn't studied in a controlled environment with scientists. But that's exactly what like that movie is pretty much about.
Okay. So you can hear the result in a video published by The Guardian, which I have. The researchers published the Wednesday in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B, and has implications beyond aquarium settings. It could suggest that whales could be learning vocal patterns from each other in the wild, which is pretty cool. But so here is the video of whales talking.
Hello? Hello? Amy?
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
I think it's awesome.
Nope. That didn't sound like raspberry.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
What the fuck? Nope.
Bye bye.
Aw.
All of those sounded like fucking fart noises to me.
Yeah, it did.
It's all like
It sounded
one,
like
2.
killer whales being tortured and fart noises.
Yeah, I wonder if the reason I wrote Twisty said it makes her sad. We like the killer whales. There's a reason they're called that.
Right. Exactly. No, but the fact
They
that they're
actually
smart
are
enough,
The
right?
top, if people don't know this, they are actually like the top of the food chain.
Right.
Like they kill blue
Except-
whales. They kill far bigger whales than them.
Yeah, but we're on the very,
And
very
sharks.
top. So
Well, obviously, I'm just
that
saying.
don't matter.
I don't know if
animal
you-
that-
I don't know
Who's
if you guys...
number one?
I was looking for more information on it. We were going to cover it on a show, but there is a conspiracy that liberals are training dolphins and killer whales as
That's kind of amazing.
as like murder machines or something like that, right? But like there's
only
no
if you
That makes
go
no
real
sense.
deep into the ocean
right, exactly. There's-
and get out of your boat.
and then the liberal trained guys are there. You're fucked.
Right?
All right. Here's some great stuff. It's happening. Using a new technique they call in-air microfluidics, the University of Twente or TWENTE. I don't know. Scientists succeeded in 3D printing structures with living cells.
What?
Yeah, this special
They
technique.
3D printed living cells.
Yep.
Badass.
This
Well, yeah,
special
they've already
technique.
done that for like saving people's lives and shit.
No, they've organic. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they printed cellular organs.
Right.
Organs with cells in them. That was like a few months ago.
This special technique enables the fast and in-flight production of micro building blocks that are viable and can be used for repairing damaged tissue. Microfluidics is
Cool.
about manipulating tiny drops of fluid with sizes between a micrometer and a millimeter. Most often, chips with tiny fluidic channels, reactors, and other components are used for this lab-on-a-chip systems. Although these chips offer a broad range of possibilities in producing emulsions, for example, droplets carrying another substance, the speed at which the droplets leave the chip is typically in the microliter per minute range. And the clinical and industrial applications, it's not fast enough. technique that is presented now does this in minutes instead of 17 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
this is some of the tech. This is like cellular repair almost. I mean, we're not there for on how good it is, right? But it's on its way to like what we saw in The Fifth Element.
I was gonna say Fifth Element. Yep, dude, that's badass, dude. I can't wait.
Right, I'm trying to see what they've created. In this way, it's possible to capture a living cell inside printable material. The resulting bio-building blocks are printed in a 3D structure that look like a sponge filled with cells and fluid. These 3D molecular biomaterials have internal structure that is quite similar to natural tissue. The 3D printing techniques are based on heat or UV light. Both would damage living cells. The new microfluidic approach is therefore a promising technique in tissue engineering. So essentially, yeah, just all like 3D printing like skin and probably maybe not muscle tissue yet, but because we're probably not that advanced on what we're doing, but more likely skin, right? So if
that's pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it could be possible that, say, someone ends up with 90% of their body covered in, third-degree burns or whatever. Third is worse, right? Or is it first?
Third's the worst.
Yeah. So they could have their body all fucked up on third-degree burns and then just get skin reprinted.
I mean, that's tight.
Yeah. So, cool data, cool piece of information. Even cooler, though, a cancer vaccine has been seen completely eliminating tumors in mice. Published today.
Whoa.
Dr. Ronald Levy, professor of oncology at Stanford, led the work in a possible cancer treatment that involves injecting 2 immune-stimulating agents directly into solid tumors. A new cancer treatment that experiment at Stanford University that used immune stimulators to target tumors in mice had remarkably encouraging results. After injecting a combination of the boosters directly into mouse tumors, the research team said that the vaccination eliminated all traces of specifically targeted cancer from the animal's entire body, including metastases that were untreated.
This is amazing.
So,
I just literally got like full body goosebumps.
Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's tight.
So yeah, if you had the same cancer in both lungs, you got treated in one lung, it would get the other, right? Because it's going after that type of cancer.
That's badass.
Right. When we use these 2 agents together, we see the elimination of tumors all over the body. Now this is all done in mice. And this is all done at a research center, so this isn't like we're not there yet.
Yeah, they're not even at trials yet.
No, but we use mice because their brains are actually systematically very similar to ours.
Right.
It's like people don't like think, well, I don't understand how a mouse is anything. It's actually turns out it's one of the best animals for all kinds of reasons. One of which is that it's the perfect brain model.
Right.
My biopsych has a mouse lab. He runs a mouse lab.
So those same cells from although the injection was successful in eliminating the targeted tumors present in the mouse, the T cells did not move onto colon cancer, also found in the same animal. So if you can target, essentially we'll just have assume that this works in like 5 years or whatever. We'll have to develop specific vaccines. So you could go get a colon cancer vaccine, essentially.
Gotcha.
Well, JMS. All right. All right. Time for Florida Man. Just in a coma says T cells. They had fucking more Resident Evil sounding stuff is what I'm hearing. So a Tampa Bay man stabs his sister, then flees to Mexico, but ends up in Georgia.
Okay.
So a Florida man who allegedly stabbed his sister was arrested in Georgia after trying to escape to Mexico with her stolen car. He is a 39-year-old man from Dunedin. Like most Trampites, he was arguing with his, I don't know what a fucking Trampite is. He was arguing with his sister about something in her apartment. She was 42 years old, and the fight escalated to him stabbing her more than 20 times. The attack was so violent that one of the knives appeared to be bent because he tried to stab her in the head, and when he tried to stab her in the head, it caused the knife to bend. That's a really important thing that the sheriff... That's literally a quote from the sheriff. One of them appeared to be bent because when he done stabbed her in the head, it bent. Like, that is not... Thinking fast.
What the fuck?
He bought a one-way ticket to Mexico because that's what they do in the movies. Because he's from Florida, his escape plan did not work out. He stole his dead sister's car and somehow ended up in Macon, Georgia. He then had a change of heart and went to to a hospital police officer and turned himself in.
Pretty amazing.
Right, exactly. So he had a ticket to Mexico and like just drove to Georgia.
Googled Trampite.
Right? Enlighten
Trampites
us.
Trampites are incredibly vile creatures who reside in the Tampa Bay area. They are notorious for their sexual escapades and cheap alcohol. Signs of these creatures may include empty beer bottles, semen stains, traumatized families, body odor, loud screaming, and gunshots.
Mm.
If you come across a Trampite in the world, please do not approach them. They are extremely stupid and dangerous.
Wow.
It's whatthefuckflorida.com.
So an update to our story from yesterday about the guy from Texas who dug a tunnel in the sand. He died, unfortunately.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, yeah, we covered that yesterday. He passed away from lung failure because he was crushed by sand.
So funny.
All right, Florida man dropping off his child at school had a .233 blood alcohol content.
God.
Is that what made his eyes look like that?
Right? I know. What the fuck is up with this guy?
He's dead. He's actually just fucking dead.
With that guy to have a child.
He was almost...
What does she look like?
Right. His blood was almost
a lizard.
1/4 alcohol.
Look, it's a Trampite.
That's definitely a Trampite.
Right.
You're right. He's almost a quarter alcohol. That's fucking insane.
What the?
How is he alive?
Light says he still got there, damn it. Lake County man being accused of being under the influence of alcohol while running into cars and dropping off a child at school Wednesday. Christopher Beauchemin blew a blood alcohol level of 0.233 after being arrested in Lake County Jail. In Florida, an illegal blood alcohol content level is 0.08. That is,
we're driving.
Yeah, that is ridiculously drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, Descendant says that, okay, 0.25% of alcohol in your blood.
Oh, okay.
That's still a
you can't
all right.
you'd be dead before
he'd be definitely dead.
Right.
He'd be itching his skin off and shit.
But 0.23 in the blood system is still like, when you think about it in your blood, it's more than just the tiny percentage, it seems. That's like,
Right. According to a Lake County Sheriff's Office report, the driver called saying that another driver almost struck his vehicle or his pickup truck and ran him off of Lake Ella Road in North Lake County. The driver observed the man, later identified as Beauchemin, turning onto a Spring Lake Road from US 441, where he nearly struck 3 more cars head-on before turning into Trinity Church parking lot. Witnesses told police that they saw the child that was seen getting out of the vehicle and walking into the school. A Fruitland Park police officer said that when he made contact with Beauchemin, he observed him passed out behind the wheel and then attempted to wake him up. He shifted the vehicle into drive and then struck a white wooden fence.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
You said he had how much in his, how much?
0.233?
0.233?
Yeah, 0.233.
Oh, well, 0.2.
Right, where 0.8 or 0.08 is drunk.
Oh, 0.2. I'm thinking point. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
0. You're just saying the 0 is. So yeah, at 0.3, you get many people lose consciousness.
Right.
At
3
0.15,
times
balance.
the legal limit.
Yeah.
Kitten Circus
By
is parent of the year.
0.45, you have breathing stops and death occurs.
Also, he can look in 2 different directions at once. He's gotten so drunk.
And
It's got a fucking. It's got a mutation.
23, by the way, I do believe that actually is 23%, because if you know how percentages work, you wouldn't put the 23 in front of the decimal. That would be 23% of your blood is alcohol. You are right, Jason.
Right.
What?
0.23 would be 23% alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how percentages work.
Well, is 100% of your blood?
I'm
Or
not
is
sure it actually
1%
works
of
like
your
that
blood?
when it comes
No,
Double alcohol.
1.0 is 100, and the way that percentages work when you put them in decimal form,
In
would be
real- yeah.
100.
Right, but
they might
but
do
does
it
it
differently
for
'cause it's the
BAC,
state.
right?
Yeah. It might be a different form of measurement.
Well, I just looked at something that was putting it, at the what it would be. Moving on.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, 0.08 is drunk, 23. Yeah, 23%. That's insane. That's just before losing consciousness.
Right.
And then just a little bit past that, you die.
All right.
For some reason, chat's not updating for me.
So in most
Really
cases, a
sorry.
blood alcohol content of 0.10 is 0.1, right? Is considered legally drunk, and that means for every 1,000 milliliters of blood, the body contains 1 milliliter of alcohol. So yeah, this is nowhere near, 23% of his blood. This is 0.23 of 1% of his blood.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
That
Right.
does make way
Okay.
more sense, right? Even though, if you're normally writing a percentage,
Right.
you do write it like that.
All right, Tampa Police PCB man, which is what was it, Palm Beach or Palm County Beach or whatever, tries to steal 2 planes, crashes fuel truck. Oh, God dang it! All right, hold on. Get back to that one. So it's Panama City Beach. Man facing several charges after he allegedly tried to steal 2 planes from a Tampa airport, then crashed a fuel truck in a hangar, according to police reports. He was arrested Saturday after the failed airplane heist. The Tampa Police Department reported the incident started at about 10:30 at Peter O. Knight Airport. They reported Bonnenberg first entered a hangar, pulled out a Piper PA valued at $60,000, and then tried to start it. He failed to start that aircraft. However, he attempted to steal an Icon A5 valued at $285,000. After both attempts were unsuccessful, Bonnenberg drove a golf cart to the airport's fuel pumps and started a fuel truck. He drove the truck back to one of the hangars and crashed it into the side of the building, causing about $250 in damage to the structure. He then left and was arrested minutes later.
Dude, that is a fucking crazy trip, dude.
Right.
Right?
It sounds like something that happens in a shitty playthrough of Grand Theft.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Oops, restart.
Right, exactly. Busted.
Gonna have to call my insurance guy.
All right, so we're gonna move on to tonight's main story. I do have a preface. Tonight's story is not about child abuse. I promise. We're going to say the words black-eyed kids with black eyes at least a few times, and we don't mean child abuse.
It's probably a good disclaimer.
I felt it was highly important that I let you guys know.
Yeah.
So we're going to start it off with something we took a little bit of a look at yesterday. And we're going to get some words from our favorite investigator,
Nice.
Sage One.
Yay!
So, black-eyed children. The way this goes is, of course, first of all, this is a story that keeps resurfacing. People keep telling this story, and it's circulating on the internet since the 1990s. There's many, many first-hand accounts, and they all have some very similar things about them. Some similarities, as it were. So it kind of goes like this. You're home alone late at night, and or maybe not alone, but you hear a knock on the door, and you go and look out the window or through the peephole, or you open the door and look out, and it's one or usually two children between the ages of 10 and 18.
I think this is the most to the
all
point
dressed
he's ever
in
been.
black.
Yeah.
Usually, if it's cold and wintry outside, they seem underdressed for the weather. And immediately, it evokes in you a desire to help them. Because what are these poor children doing out wandering around late at night, knocking on my door?
Getting the fuck off my porch.
They ask for help. They usually ask in a very monotone way at first to be let in, either to use your phone or to wait for their parents, or just to be let in from the cold. Another variation of this story is you're driving your car and you're flagged down by one or two of these, and they ask to be let into your car, or ask you to give them a ride. And the universal reaction to this, for some weird reason, is that they're frightened. That the people that encounter these black-eyed children are immediately frightened, like in a weird, supernatural, guttural, animalistic way.
So yeah, that's the basic of this
This sounds
story.
fucking creepy as shit.
Right.
Right?
And I would like to get, like I said in the middle of him talking there, I'd like to give Sage Wanderer a fucking hand for getting to the fucking point. This is like
Dude,
the first time he wasn't all like, you know, like, so the whole story is, by the way, my sister once owned a thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. My daddy.
But we're gonna move on from Sage, because you guys should definitely go check out his channel. It is too good.
Yeah.
Right? It's definitely just too good. So here's a witness story. The user's name is Big Taco 123. On March 17th, 2008, I had my one and only encounter with a black-eyed kid. For my experience, I had never heard of anything having to do with black-eyed kids. I was 12. I was sitting outside of a hairdresser's in an old Chevy pickup waiting for my mom to get her haircut. About 15 minutes had passed, and I saw some kid walk back and forth along the sidewalk in front of my parked car. At the first, I thought I recognized him as one of my friends from school, so I banged on the front windshield until he looked my way. It was not anyone I knew. At this point, I was not scared at all. Not yet. The boy walked over to the side of my car, and this is all spelled terribly, so I'm like, that just one just said, walked over to the side of my care, and just stares, right? I think to let me get a good look at his eyes, to freak me out. Let me tell you, if you've never seen a black-eyed kid, you have no idea what to imagine. Pupils black as the night sky. The boy whispers, "You must let me in." And then I locked the doors and ducked down into the space below the seats. 5 minutes later, he was gone. My mother then got into the car, and she told me a boy with black eyes had come into the hairdresser's and insisted for my mother to give her the keys to the car. She refused. Thank God. So this is
Thank God.
this is one of thousands of these stories, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this pure volume should speak to the truth of this story.
Sort of.
I feel bad when I use, like, when I'm doing these segments and I use fucking fallacies super hard.
Yeah, I know, I bet.
Because I have to avoid fallacies unless I'm fucking around. So,
Right, like at all fucking costs.
here's some videos, right? A demonstration.
Who is it? I'm assuming they got punched in the face. Black-eyed children, like, or like, is it like their retinas are black?
Their eyes are black.
Their eyes are black, so not like a black eye, but like their.
Yeah, it's their eyeball. As the legend goes, a kid will show up on your doorstep and they'll be like, "Hey, let me in." Except it doesn't sound anything like that because it's way more creepy.
I need help. Please let me in.
And if you have any sense at all, you'll say, "No."
You have to let me in.
A little
Don't
forceful
do it.
there, little
People
youngin.
who have encountered these black-eyed children have reported feeling a subconscious urge to give in, and just when they're about to do it, they stop themselves. Nobody knows what these kids want or what they would do if they got what they wanted, which again, we don't know what that is. It's probably
Wrong.
There's nothing this kid could say to come into my house. Like, nothing at all. Oh no, I'm being chased by a monster. I don't care.
I'd probably let them in.
Well, you're an idiot. Some people believe that they're ghost kids. That's a theory. I tend to believe. Actually, I don't have an opinion on it. Ghost kids. That works for me.
I'm a big guy. I'm not really scared of kids.
Seriously? Because I think kids with regular eyes are terrifying. Have you ever encountered a black-eyed kid? Are you a
Yeah,
black-eyed kid?
children are terrifying.
Right.
I hope not.
Little girls in hallways are the scariest fucking thing in the world.
You should definitely check out Ghoulish Expeditions. I had a really good time looking at their stuff. So, everybody should check out Ghoulish Expeditions. Anyway, the supposed origins of the legend are some 1996 postings written in by a Texas reporter, Brian Bethel, on ghost-related mailing lists, relating in two alleged encounters with black-eyed kids. Bethel describes an encountering two such children in Abilene, Texas, in 1996, and claims that a second person had a similar unrelated encounter in Portland, Oregon. Do either of you guys look?
No.
No.
I kept hearing the knocking, but you were fucking with us.
Yeah. I know, it's like...
All right, if anybody in chat looked...
video still playing?
If anybody in chat looked because they thought that they're wearing headphones and thought that they heard somebody knocking, that's definitely me trolling you. But you got to post in the chat if I got you. So I was hoping I would get somebody. ZZZ Killer 231, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. Oh, I may have gotten somebody.
Nice.
Distended Kona said, "You cockass,
wanted
you
to say
definitely
you
got me."
Nice.
Excellent. If you're wearing headphones, it definitely plays on different sides so that you think someone's knocking over there, and yeah. Anyway, supposed to be part of the, like, if anybody was like, black-eyed children knocking at the door. All right, it's just gonna play again. Hold on. Let me go past this. Is this still playing? Oh, it totally is. Hold on.
Yep.
I gotta let
Yeah, it is kind of creepy.
gotta let the MP3 go all the way through its thing, I guess. All right, that's it. That's that one. No, it's just doing it again. What the hell's going on?
Oh my god, mute it! What's happening?
I don't think I can. What's going on?
They're knocking at your computer, Udo. They're trying to climb through.
Is it just gonna go forever?
internet.
I don't know.
It's totally just going forever. Fuck. All right, hold on.
They're knocking on your computer.
I gotta like end the slideshow and open the slideshow back.
Just got malware.
All right. Seems to be fixist. As long as I don't go back one, we'll be okay.
Servus Leute, in dem heutigen Video geht es die sogenannten Black-Eyed Kids oder auch die schwarzäugigen Kinder.
As you can tell by this guy's moon speak.
Right.
He's got important information about these guys. And since I've looked into this video, I can translate for you guys what he's saying.
Die Black-Eyed Kids haben vollkommen schwarze Augen. Sie scheinen das Bedürfnis dazu zu haben, in die Privatsphäre anderer
Black-eyed kids are totally real. I know, I'm a scientist.
Menschen einzudringen. Man sagt, dass die Black-Eyed Kids ein paranormales Phänomen sind und verschiedenste Theorien bezeichnen sie als Aliens. Im vergangenen Jahrzehnt haben viele
They totally could be aliens, and that Jason and Shayna should believe what I'm saying.
Menschen über Bewegungen mit schwarzäugigen Kindern berichtet.
Alright, that joke played out real quick. Alright, so everybody thinks that they, that they could be spooky ghosts, but there's a a subculture that believes that these may be alien-human hybrids.
Makes sense.
They may be even the case that the black-eyed children are an experimental step in an attempt by alien greys to assimilate with mankind. After all, black-eyed children seem to be a revolutionary or relatively new phenomena. Many alleged alien abductees report being shown black-eyed alien-human hybrids. One, Karen Morgan, reported to seeing black-eyed beings on a spaceship, which were described by her aliens as the children of the future.
So first we have to believe she was on the spaceship, and then also she saw the black-eyed children.
Well, I mean, obviously, since I presented it with absolutely no evidence, you should probably take it as a 100% fact.
I don't have any proof that she wasn't abducted by aliens.
Right. It's up to you to prove that she wasn't.
Yep, that's how it works.
All right. So here is what is considered one of the strongest pieces of evidence.
Interesting side note. I woke up as though I was hit by a bus. The black-eyed kid signal got really bothersome after a while. I felt like it was going to drive me crazy, and if not for this next recording, I probably would have given up.
Oops. Fuck. We're going to have to listen to that part again.
Side note.
If I click anywhere, it pauses it.
Bus. The black-eyed kid signal got really bothersome after a while. I felt like it was going to drive me crazy, and if not for this next recording, I probably would have given up.
You see it?
Oh, okay.
She's out there.
Creepy.
Oh, that is creepy.
This wasn't enhanced. This is totally real.
Right. As you can tell, it is taken with a potato camera, so therefore it is legitimate. So if you guys are wondering what the hell that sound is...
Yeah, what is that?
So this guy, and I'm going to link his stuff here because this is the best channel. This channel has like hundreds of videos about black-eyed children, right? Cool. This guy, that is a frequency he's developed to lure black-eyed children to his house.
Okay, this guy sounds hella creepy.
Right now, I didn't even think about how that sounds.
Like, that's next level creepy shit.
I've developed this frequency to lure children to my house.
That's not gonna ever go wrong.
No, but he's got videos of you know, supposed like, you know, interferences happening around his house and their incredible psychic powers and all sorts of crazy shit like that. So, yeah.
Right. Titles.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All you need to do is just believe this guy 100% and everything will work. But his videos are mwah. If you come from the mindset that all of us are coming there from, you're gonna be like, oh, I see what this guy's doing. Badass. He is just farming views, just farming them.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But he's great at it. So that is the end of the presentation on black-eyed children that I've prepared. So,
I was really enjoying that. I was actually kind of creeped out for a bit.
Well, I mean, so basically 99% of the evidence on black-eyed children are stories told by people, right?
Second-hand stories.
Right.
Not even first account stories.
And it's a lot of people
like, so
who
my
are
friend so-and-so.
Right. And a lot of, like, you can, if you even just search for black-eyed children on YouTube or on Reddit or anything like that, there is entire subreddits, entire Facebook pages, huge, like, Tumblr posts devoted to this stuff. So if you want to go, like, if you're like, I'm down to not sleep very well tonight, you can go and read those up. And
Gotcha.
you know, the more you read, the more like even slight slivers of possible truth would come through, and you'll go, "Oh my God, now I believe in all the children's."
Yeah.
You can definitely spook yourself real good with this one. So,
awesome.
But that brings me to what I wanted to do with part of the rest of the show. So I wanted to open up the floor to the audience for us and do a little bit of Q&A if anybody's interested. We wanted to get a little bit of feedback based on a couple of our last episodes. If you guys noticed, we didn't do Be the Change today. And it was because we were testing to see how people felt about that one, because it ended up, we thought maybe it was a little slow. We wanted to see how you guys felt about that not being there. So
yeah, did you guys miss it?
if you guys had any feedback for us about what was going on, we would highly enjoy it. You don't have to say it now, but you can hit us up on Twitter. You can we've got a Facebook, we've got a YouTube. Descendant said he's mad. So and
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to talk about your feelings?
We could, I mean, that is definitely something that can come back. It is easy for me to prepare. The only thing that's really frustrating about it is how slow it is to load during the show, right?
Yeah.
If it's popular and people like it, there will be change. We will make the change.
Yep.
Is there any reason it couldn't be part of a slide? Like, you just take the whole thing and just transpose it onto an actual slide.
Oh, like screenshot it?
Right.
Yeah, basically.
The only problems with that is if they're too big, right? If they're physically too large to put on.
Right.
Which a lot of them are.
Christy said, as an avid Skeptalk fan, I did feel like I was missing something. So we've gotten 2 pieces of feedback, and that is that we should definitely have that in the show. And I don't mind it at all. We were just testing to see how people. That was the show. You know, I know that did it flow better because it wasn't there, or should I? We can take steps to just like, I could take multiple screenshots, right?
Yeah, I did think it did flow really well this episode.
Maybe...
I do like to have the breakup though from just news and conspiracy.
Well,
right?
maybe do it at the end. Like after, you know, have the flow, and then when we get to the point, especially if we've got like an extra half an hour, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually eats up about 10 minutes, which is perfectly fine. It's a good section size.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And how did you guys like the stories that I told and then withheld a piece of data and then brought it in? And I wanted feedback from you guys too, Shayna and Jason.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want more of that, definitely.
Yeah.
It was fun to do. I enjoyed that.
I feel like we could get really creative with how we do that.
Yeah, where you had like multiple things, so it's not necessarily a headline.
Take a good story, bad, or a bad story, and make it seem good by taking out a detail. If you could find those kinds of stories, just really.
Yeah.
So Flight, we're actually working on that, right? We are working on that. I've actually, we've got Chatta TV coming on next week. I believe we've talked to Tilting before. We just have to hit him on a time where he'd be awake. And then, we're getting big enough that we have, we could actually go to other Twitch users and say, hey, we're, we do a talk show and we get, X amount of viewers at a time. How would you like to, come be on? And we will be taken seriously and not be looked like we're just this guy who has 2 people watching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've got a YouTube personality who's a 20,000 plus subscriber YouTuber who is willing to come on. Distended says more Wes. You can definitely do that. Yeah. Cool. That is all the stuff I really wanted to talk about. It's going to be a little bit of a short episode today. And it's mostly because things went real fast. Flight says accents Are you telling us to put on accents, or should we get people with accents? Also, more alcohol. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, we never did an episode this. Fuck it. Tonight's the last night of January. I think we have to get drunk, guys.
Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
joking.
it's February 1st.
School night, work night. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I was
like,
sorry, I had a really long day.
I was like, sure, whatever, we get drunk tonight, but it's not the last night of January.
Yeah, that would ruin February.
But yeah, well, so we'll do a drinking episode this month, and you know we'll see if we can we'll see if we can try and get. I'm gonna try to get the talk section together so that we can bring on people for interviews. Yo, I have swag. We actually did take a look at that. His spokesperson said that he's in good condition. We had from comicbookresources.com, Stan Lee Hospital, comicbookresources.com says a spokesperson for Stan Lee has commented on the comic legend's condition, saying that he's doing well and feeling good. He's staying there for a few days for some checkups as a safety precaution, which is good. And Nevertim, yes, we did talk about that idea, and we're working on it. Nefertim says it was easy to guess poop because Udo picked it. That I mean, like, I didn't pick the story. I just saw a story, and I was like, what if you hide the word poop? And then it worked out, right? But yeah, we could do that with quite a few other pieces of the news, right? I could just gather up news stories and be like, this is the interactive section. Because some of these news stories that we covered today wouldn't have been nearly as fun. Like if we, oh yeah, you guys should see this fucking note that I wrote for myself to try to remember not to fucking, like, Udo, ignore the knocking troll time, so that the knocking would go off and I wouldn't fucking.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we moved on to that, and then, but like some of these other stories wouldn't have worked as well for hiding stuff. This one wouldn't have worked for hiding poop because it was, I mean, like, it was really talking about it, and I could have hid the word robot, right? But I mean, everybody would have guessed that pretty easily. And these stories were just interesting because we love when animals go off and do homeward bound shit. So.
Right. That's so fucking tight.
Yeah, so I think that's all we've got today. We're going to be ending about 20 minutes early. I do know that Jason will be streaming Escape from Tarkov tonight. And Shayna, you get your stream set up yet?
Because I have the time. Maybe when I'm not taking calculus.
As far as I know, sometime soon, Shayna will be starting streaming. So there'll be more to watch. I actually want to do some other streams, just not necessarily gaming, but my roommate was wanting to do one. You're having to talk about interesting things. Maybe we'll do a coffee.
Yeah, Sean told me his idea for an episode of something that we want to put together, and it is fucking hilarious. I'm not going to go into it because it's definitely his pet project, and he needs to deliver that.
Right.
But I think you know what I'm talking about, Shayna.
Who you talking about? Your brother?
Yeah.
Right.
I would love to be involved with that too.
It's
which I've been
twitch.tv/pants404. Or pants_404.
Right.
Yeah, that shit sounds hilarious. So